I'm back, and today we're going to be going back in time, back to when PlayStation intros used to blast your eardrums out. And we're going to be playing the Spyro games, but we're not going to be playing it on the old consoles because I cannot get my achievements there. So we're going to be playing the Spyro trilogy for 3K gamer score, 105 trophies. So I guess it's time to strap in and get ready for a long one. So I think with these games, it's going to be pretty much the same outline. We're going to be going for 100% of the level first, and then afterwards we're going to be kind of cleaning up all the trophies. So let's get into the first Spyro. Starting off here, basically the story is Ganasty Ganok is watching the TV with the dragons on it. The dragons roast him.
Ugly? That does it.
And he basically gets angry and freezes all the dragons. So our whole objective is to go around freeing all the dragons, collecting all the gems, and 100%ing the game. After loading into the first world, maybe 20 seconds later, we get our first achievement for finding a level hidden behind a waterfall. Oh, first achievement, finding the hidden entry. Before we then collect a couple more dragons, find the second worst thing in the Spyro series. The little thieves who steal the eggs that you have to chase. Collecting the egg, blam, get out of there, boy. And then moving on to the boss of this area. The boss is not too bad. He basically just has a bunch of dogs in front of him that you take out, and then you light him on fire. And it's not actually that bad because he doesn't attack himself. So all you have to do is take out the dog, burn him, and then you kind of find out that it's just a sheep on stilts. Hell yeah, it's our first boss fight. Well, boss fight, I guess. After beating him, we end up taking the hot air balloon over to the next island. Oh yeah. Moving on to the second area, we end up doing these flying missions where destroying stuff allows you to add more time, and you're kind of doing this race against the clock trying to destroy stuff. Pretty fun, but then we end up coming across another thief with an egg, and didn't go how I wanted it to go. Ooh. Bitch. After getting mugged off by that thief, we finally move on to the second boss, who honestly was just horrible. Damn. All you had to do was clap his cheeks. And that was it. Now to move on to the third area. In the next area, we ended up getting achievements for headbutting a couple of spiders. Finding one of those pesky thieves behind a wall. Bitch! Before facing another boss called Blowhard.
What?
Now, these bosses are kind of all the same. You're just jumping up and burning them pretty much is it. Before going to the next area and having some fun with a little ramp level, which honestly was probably my favorite because you kind of just got around, and in order to get all the gems and dragons you kind of had to find different routes to jump around. Then after that we had another flying level, which you had to fly around and not touch the ground once, which is kind of easy but also adds a little bit of a challenge. And then finally we move on to the final boss of Spyro 1, the Ganasty Ganok. So this starts off by him shooting us at the top, and we're chasing thieves around, of course. We end up getting a key to unlock another door to chase another thief. And after getting his key, we unlock the platform that Ganasty Ganok's on to jump up to chase him. And after running around for a bit, we finally catch up, headbutt him, and that's the end. But of course it's not the end for us because we have to do a bit of cleanup now. Now this game's got a thing for violence, masked by the fact that it's like a cartoon kids game. All the achievements are pretty much just killing everything. So we start off by burning sheep, obviously lighting campfires, not that bad. Doing a loop under the bridge, another easy one. Then we go to burning fairies, headbutting birds, burning more fairies, and even burning mushrooms. Before we come up to the final achievement, and that is to chase Ganasty Ganok for 5 laps of his arena. Now let me tell you, this was something special.
2,000 years later.
And after finally doing the 5th lap, we can end off Spyro 1 with all 34 achievements and move on to Spyro 2. Moving on to Spyro 2, the story starts off where we left after killing Ganasty Ganok, where Spyro wants to take a vacation on the beach, but instead of jumping through the right portal, some of the characters brought him into another world. This is where we find out that Ripto is the boss of this world. Of course, this is one of the first games I ever played back on PS2, because the discs were backwards compatible. It came out on PS1, so I did not play it at launch. I'm not that old. But this one was so fun to me. You get to do so much little side quests for orbs and stuff, like this one right here, where we're just flying around. And we end up getting our first achievement, and we get our first orb of quite a bit. We come back to the main hub area where we meet Mr. Moneybags, here to teach me how to use my controller.
Okay.
And basically this guy, you spend your whole time collecting gems just to give to him. Then we play a little bit of hockey where I turn into Prime Messi.
Messi, encara Messi, encara Messi,
There we go,
encara Messi,
encara
encara Messi,
Messi.
encara Messi, encara Messi, encara Messi.
Oh, he's gone around him.
Encara Messi, encara Messi, encara Messi.
Beautiful.
Goal, 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 goal.
I mean, this one's pretty cool. Just under the water, swimming around on top of a manta ray. Before eventually making it to our first boss, Crush. Now we get to some finally decent boss fights, where we get like to do some sort of stuff in it instead of just jumping around. We just make our way dodging all this stuff, before making him basically cave in the roof on himself. And after a couple of times, we end up beating him, getting our achievement, before moving on to the next area. Not too bad. Of course, a running theme throughout this game, we're paying Moneybags for literally anything we can, including bridges. Moving away from Moneybags, we're now punching elephants into a pen for some of those orbs. These things are so ugly. Hideous. Getting to ride a minecart. Now this one was pretty fun. Just traveling around the map, kind of jumping over obstacles, dodging stuff. This one was pretty fun. It was pretty tough. It took me a couple goes, but yeah, once you kind of learn the route, you know, it becomes a lot easier.
That was great work, Spyro.
Then moving on, I got an achievement for stealing one of the crystals from Hunter. Smoke. God damn, she got that old librarian build. Before heading off to our next boss fight against Gulp. Now this boss fight messed me up a little. I died a couple times. Before figuring out how to do this, what we're doing is just launching all the stuff that's dropping from the sky back at him. Like the middle crates, we got bombs, rockets, and we're just launching it at him, just getting his health down, dodging all these green orbs. Oh, that's it. Finally. Fun boss fight, which I take for granted, especially with the stuff coming up. Then moving on to the next area, we had a mini boss where I actually got an achievement for not getting hit. This was on accident, but easy, and the diamond for doing it with no hit. Then going back to flying levels like we had in Spyro 1, end up getting an achievement for killing the snowmobile guys. And this is where we end up facing Ripto and South. Now this boss fight was very long and tedious. Oh, that's almost killed him with one go. Here we go. And I missed. But eventually got him down. I thought it was over. Done. Turns out he had a second stage. But that was the whole boss fight. It's a little too easy. Oh, spoke too soon. There we go, finally. Now it should be done. Nice and easy. Okay. Then I thought it was over again. It turned out he turned into a whole dragon. So that was cool. But we finally beat him. Done. And got to play some carnival games where we got carnival tickets and eventually unlocked the Mother Flame, which gives us the ability to infinitely become the Mother Flame dragon. Oh, the Eternal Flame. This should help out with cleaning up. Now it's time to clean up the rest of the achievement. One of them we had to start at the top of the castle and fly all the way down to this thing, which is pretty cool. I had to actually look up a guide for this because I had no idea what I was doing. Then one of the hardest achievements probably of this whole game. Not hard as in like it was difficult, but very time consuming. Basically, you're just chasing this little carpet guy and you got to get to the end and he'll give you the flag, but the whole time you cannot get hit. And this, let me tell you, it's a long trek from one side of the map to the other. But we eventually get that in the achievement before facing the boss again, but this time we cannot eat any of the healing. So we're going to try to do this and not get hit, because if we get hit, it ends up dropping the chickens, which he can eat and heal, which will obviously make it longer. So we end up doing this, getting him down. I did get hit once, but we were able to kill him before he was able to eat. So that was our final achievement of this area. And with that done, we move on to Spyro 3. Starting off with Spyro 3, the story is about this little ferret looking thing that steals the egg for her boss named Sorceress, who is the main boss of this world. So we're back to chasing thieves, but before that we actually get to skateboard around to collect the orb. This one also has side quests that you get eggs from instead of orbs this time. So we get to do stuff like skateboarding before finding these side worlds where you cannot enter unless you have other characters. So after finding out this, we find money bags, of course, even in Spyro 3, holding the kangaroo hostage that we need to complete some levels. So we end up paying him and trying out the kangaroo, and now she has this ability to jump basically like a kangaroo. Kind of makes it fun, just running around and jumping around. Before moving on to chasing the egg thieves, which is just horrible. Then we end up getting an achievement for killing a nuclear shark submarine. Easy, and an achievement. Before facing the first boss, and let me tell you something, absolutely hard. The bosses in this game are absolutely hard. Basically just standing here waiting for him to finish emoting, then headbutting him, headbutting him, headbutting him, and headbutting him till we eventually defeat him for the achievement. That should be it. Got the achievement too. Moving on, we end up finding money bags again and unlocking our next friend that we can become, and that is a penguin who has the ability to fly around and shoot rockets. And the next friend that Moneybag has trapped is the Yeti, who has the ability to smash things. Next up, and last but not least, is the monkey. And you kind of get to run around in like a third person and shoot stuff, which is this one's actually pretty cool. I did enjoy this. Before facing a mini boss, which again, just awful. Just standing here basically headbutting stuff back at him. That was easy. Before facing the real boss, which of course is just headbutting and burning. Okay, that's gotta be the worst boss fight ever. Moving on, we end up headbutting some more stuff, like some butterfly jars for an achievement, and then some sarcophaguses for achievement, or sarcophagi, I don't know what the word is. Before getting to play as Spark to kill a crab and a spider. Now, Spark had her own side quest, which was pretty fun, but at this point I had all but 2 achievements. One for defeating the final boss, and the other for defeating the final Spark level. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the boss. And again, this boss fight was okay. This one was better than the other one. Kind of get to ride around on these cannons and stuff. What is this? Oh, it's a moving tank. I get hit by that. What the fuck? It wasn't hard, other than the controls of one of the items was absolutely horrendous. I can barely drive it, but what the fuck is going on? What is wrong with this? I can't even control that. That's not cool. Boy, that sucks. This thing's fucking scuffed. Holy shit. After taking her down, I thought we were gonna get a second stage for this cutscene. Not even a tiered fight, just one. Oh, George. Oh. But no, that was it. And last but not least, after defeating her, we had the final achievement of our game, and that is to take out this little centipede dude as Spark. And boy, oh boy, was I happy once I did it. Oh my days, I think that's everything. Finally, let's have a look. All complete, all 105. God damn, now you know what that means.